Hi everybody, I'm Peter Travers. This is Popcorn, where we tell you what's popping in the culture. And one of my favorite, and I mean this, one of my favorite TV shows is Yellowstone. But before we get into any of that, Kevin Costner, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
There
Thank
you are.
Thank you.
And congratulations on season 2.
Thank you.
Yeah. What attracted you to this?
Well, it's way more complicated than that. You know, life usually is, and sometimes there's a different spin on it. When I was approached with this, where it was going to be one long movie, a 10-episode movie, like a Hatfield and McCoy's, and somewhere along the line, the show got put together, and it was no longer going to be that. And I felt, in a way, a lot of it had been put together because of me, agreeing that I would do it. And so, lo and behold, it went from one season to suddenly it was going to be a multi-season thing, and I had to make a real fundamental decision there. And I thought actually, if I would have said, well, now I'm not doing it, that maybe it might have crumbled before it got started. And so I kind of took the weight on of emotionally not wanting to have the show crumble, but that's not how it started.
Describe a little to those people who haven't seen it yet who John Dutton is. Who is this?
He's a patriarch of a family that's been in Montana since the 1800s. You can call it 5 generations, if you will. He's a person that's kind of locked in the past, but also has a mentality of a CEO. So he's actually blown the ranch up into the largest contiguous piece of property in the United States, and is conducting modern day ranching. That life is still going on. People are still making a living on horseback. And in Montana, it's alive and well, although it's a struggle, just the same way as it's been for farmers. And the normal things that ranching struggles with are no longer what his ancestors dealt with. He's now dealing with outside forces, with the EPA, with Native American rights, with casinos, urbanization, the idea that on his death, his children will not inherit this land. It'll be just because of inheritance. These are external pressures, and he's not able to arbitrate those problems the way his predecessors did, which was when they had no agents, no publicity people, no lawyers. You handled your problems on your property. And that DNA is alive and well in Yellowstone.
We should look at a clip. Here we go.
How many times have I stood on the podium with you, Donnie? Stood for you. Think you'd be sheriff if it weren't for me? Maybe you haven't noticed, but there's a war going on in this valley. Today's the day you choose sides.
So he's in control in every sense. The sheriff couldn't be the sheriff.
Yeah, and you know, and that looks pretty dirty, and maybe it is pretty dirty, but you realize it's like in that country, when you do someone a favor, you feel like it's going to be done back. I've stood for you. I need you got to make up your mind where you stand on something like this.